frustrating.
Which is delete.
Let me grab the
Literally,
hand.
what we need to do is delete. Wait a minute to create it. And then after that, it's just delete integration.
Yeah. We have to do this week. When do you want to do that this week?
I can do tomorrow or Thursday.
Thursday probably be better. You already know.
I just can't do Wednesday. What test?
So I need to do lab.
Okay, let's get started. Listen, stop talking. I return to you all the feedback for your first memo. If you did not attend the class on Friday, you should watch the video. I explained how to do heat integration on Friday. You missed it. There's a page, single page handout right there. What do we want to do? We learn about uniform series, gradient series. Let's spend 10 minutes or less talk about the third type of series of cash flow. Then we'll do 4 in-class exercises together. You'll find out how to apply those standard cash flow series and write interest factor. Go to your page 15 of your class notes. Geometric series. You look at this cash flow diagram, how much money you must deposit into your account. Now, at I% interest rate, say 10%, to cover the future payment to your worker, year 1, 50,000. Year 2, increase by 8%. Year 3, 8%. This 8% is called a growth rate of cash flow. At interest period 5, this is 1.08 to the 4th power. This type of series is called geometric series. It depends on your initial value. We use A1 to indicate the initial cash flow. Now you look at page 16. That is the standard form of geometric series. How much money you must deposit at present time P to cover all this payment. Without going through all the calculation, there's a formula A.25. To go from A1 to P, A1, okay, what happened? All right. To go from A1 to P, with interest rate I, goes rate J. The way you write your interest factor is given A1 to find present value, I percent interest rate, J growth rate, and interest period. The formula is right here. What if I equal J? You notice here I minus J is right there. That will cause trouble. So when I equal J, this is simplified to N over 1 plus I. Now, the other thing you might think about is, if I have N interest periods here, future value. What is the future value of this series of cash flow at interest period N? That is this formula A.26. Given A1 to find future value I, J, N. The interest factor right here. Okay, look at page 17. There is a real problem. Page 17. A football coach, a small college, the football coach, he has a 5-year contract, paying initially $300,000 for the first year. His pay increased at 10%. So J equal 10%. The interest rate I is 12%. Now, after the first year, alumni did not like him, fired him. They want to buy out the remaining 4-year contract, year 2, 3, 4, 5. How much money will you need to pay the coach at the end of year 1? You have $300,000. His contract increased by 10%, so 330,000, 363,000, 399, 300, 439, 230. That is include J equal 10%, starting at 300,000. So you learn economics, it allows you to understand P1, the present value at end of year 1 for all those future paid to the coach. And in terms of A1, given A to find P. 12% interest rate, 10% growth rate, 4 interest period. That is this value. And you don't want to use Excel. What is the present value of those interest period 1? Net present value 12%, C4 to C7. C4 to C7 included growth rate. So, either you use interest factor or Excel. It allows you to understand how to deal with firing a football coach. That is one application of geometric series. Now, look at your new handout. We are going to a single page handout. You don't have it, pick it up from there. We're going to do the 4 problems together, hands-on in-class exercise. Let's first review the 3 types of cash flow series on the top of this page. Uniform series. Remember, there's no cash flow at time 0. Uniform amount. Gradient series. No cash flow time 0, time 1. G, 2G, 3G. 4G. 5 minus 1G. And today we just learned geometric series. A1, growth rate J. The last term, A1, 1 plus J to the 4th power. So now, let's do it together. Given the interest rate, I equal 10%. Find a known A such that present value is 0. We set up the equation with interest factor. Once you know the interest factor, you go later on to table 8.1 to get a formula employee interest rate 10%, and it can solve the problem. How do we do this? You need to learn interest, those standard form of cash flow series. Let's look at this. This 3A uniform series. Their present time is 1 interest period before. Now, this, I'm going to redraw this to 130, 169, 210. What type of series is this? This, in fact, very close to geometric series with ghost rate 30%. Why? 100 times 1.3, 130. 130 times 1.3, 169. 169 plus 1.3 should be 219.7. That is 100 times 1.3. 1, 2, 3, third power. Or 100, 1.3, 4 minus 1. So, you want to use geometric series, this term should be 219. If I put 219 there positive, I should have minus 9.7 down here. Okay? 219 positive, 9.7 negative. And then, this is the geometric series with present time, this present time and interest period 2. Now, how do you deal with 120, 140, 160? We want to learn how to take advantage of standard form. The way you do it, 120 plus, this is 20, this is 40. 40 is 23 minus 1. So, what is this? You can think about this, 0, 1, 2, 3. A uniform series of 100 plus a gradient series. Remember, gradient series doesn't have cash flow times 0, 1, G, 2G, 3G. No cash flow, no cash flow. 20, 40, 40 is 23 minus 1. So, 0, 1, 2, 3. This is standard gradient series. So, it's A plus G. Now, we write it down. Present value equals 0. First, moving the positive cash flow to present time. This geometric series, present time is 1 interest period backward. It's right here. So, starting with 100, that is A1. Given A1 to find present value, 10% interest rate, 30% ghost rate, you have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 minus 1. This is 4. Okay? But now, this present time, present value is at interest period 2. move this back to present time and interest period 0. Easy. 1 plus 0.1 minus 2, or 1 plus I minus 2. Or you want to write down F to P, 10, 2. All the same. We took care of the positive cash flow. Minus this one. That is sum of uniform series and graded series. Right? So, 120 given A to find P, 10% interest rate, 3 interest period. That is this. Minus 20 gradient series given G to find P, 10, 3. The last one is this. A minus A. Given A to find P, 10, 3. Not done yet. Those 3. That's present value at interest period 5. You need to move that back to 0. So, F to P I 5, or 1 plus 0.1 minus 5. This equals 0. What is the next step? Next step is go to the table to find all this formula, plug in I equal 10, 0.1, n. Okay? You plug in the formula, you can solve for this. Early next semester, when you do your homework assignment, you become familiar with working with cash flow. That's the way we do it. Okay? Solving this problem. That is first in-class exercise. Any question? All right. With our second question, the same. I equal 10%, present value equal 0. Can we find out solving for A? First, you look at this. There is the A series with present value at interest period 2. And then 100, 200, 300. That is 100, 4 minus 1. You notice the standard form, A series. Present value is 1 interest period backward. Standard form of gradient series. 1, 0. No cash flow. That's no cash flow. No cash flow. So this is easy to handle. How about this? you can do like this. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First, make the 4 8. That is an A series with interest, present value, and interest period 1. How about this? You look at this, 0, 0, this is A, 2A, 3A. So, minus 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. A, 2A. No, wait a minute. No, not there. Not there, sorry. Zero, 0, 3, 4, 5. That is a graded series. The present time is an interest period 1, no cash flow. Right? Remember this? No cash flow. G, 2G, 3G, 4G. So, you want to solve for unknown A. Present value equals 0. Positive cash flow 100. First, a uniform series. Given A to find P. 10. You look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4. In this term, has present value and interest period 2. You want to move this back to interest period 0. F to A, I2, or 1 plus 0.1 minus 2. That is this uniform series. Then you need to deal with this gradient series. Plus, given G to find P, 10, 4. You see here, no cash flow, 100, 200, 300, which is 4 minus 1 times G. This has present time 2, the same. A, given F to find A, I2. I is 10%, 1 plus 0.1 minus 2. That is positive. Negative. We deal with this. Minus 4A. This is your uniform series. Given A to find P, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4. This has present value or interest period 1. You need to move back F to A, 10, 1, or 1 plus 0.1 minus 1 to 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. closing value at interest period 1, moving back to 0. 1 plus 0.1 minus 1. That's it. Now, you need to look for a value of this. Solve for a known A equals 0. Do you know how to deal with cash flow diagram? Now, this is A. You come to here. Oh, look, what happened? Uh-oh. Okay. All right. C. All right, this one. Now, watch here. This 1250, 1,000, 750, 500. Looks like you can put this at 1250. And this is 250, 500, 750, which is 250, 4 minus 1. Those 4 terms represent a combination of uniform series and graded series. How about this 300? It stays by itself. Watch here. If you have a uniform series, you have another A here. You deal with that by itself. It's not part of the standard uniform series. Okay? So, to do this, P equals 0. Can you write it by yourself? I'll give you 5 minutes to do it. You can talk to your neighbor. Try it. Can you write it down by yourself?
Wait, I got you.
Mom,
Paying so much attention.
what do you find this?
Well, he wants us to just write the cell notation for how you would
So
solve
hard to know.
for cash flow A.
Yours? Yeah.
No, you know, 25%. Oh, it's 10. How do you know this? He tells you. He tells you first, got it.
Yeah, yeah. Wait, is this easy? But weren't you
So it'd be like,
like the math?
something defines something like this, right? If you add
I thought you were doing that.
zero,
That's why I'm saying this is like
and this is basically like a geometric.
it's like specific to certain.
Yeah, I guess I didn't realize why you were talking about that method when we were doing like cost
That's true.
analysis.
Oh, because you and then you
So we just
And
use
then
the
you-
gradient formula and
and it's easy from there to find.
the formula for A.
We use lots of
The unit present value, given your
So those
interest
steps,
rate,
those are
Yeah, I didn't realize you had to skip through all these steps and just go directly to the assessment. This is the first one. Also, this one, the importance of process safety seems the most simple. There's like other ones that are like hazard recognition, process safety hazards. Like there's a bunch of there's a lot of them. So some of them might take longer.
Yeah, that's best. Because you see more start. I'm gonna say you're like 250 times 2.
What? Wait, is there like a light?
It's probably on the camera. And the audio's on the keyboard.
Yeah. Like I literally put like headphones in and max out.
One time I got the transcripts to work and that was hype.
One time Jack and I had to watch it together, so we put it. We couldn't listen to it on my laptop. We put it on my TV, like HD it, and like turned up the volume max.
That just would have been worth to do with you, but
You can do that.
No.
I did. Now it's 2 more days.
Because it's gonna get traced back to me.
To send it. I'm not gonna do that right now.
Huh?
I need to do.
Wait, what's not considered admin? If I get this wrong, I'm screwed.
I don't know, bro.
Which one's the?
The first one. Not considered.
What is this for?
Class.
Send me design. I literally told you. We said we have to do 7.
You just told me to do each of the classes.
Okay.
Have you done the safety training?
No. But,
Well, 6 of them we do by Friday.
yeah, I know.
Okay.
I know, but
How many have you done?
3.
Okay. Like the first one, I got done with this in like 30 minutes. Are all the other ones also like 30 minutes?
They're not that. You can just click through.
Yeah.
But like some of them are like case study.
Okay.
Like you have to read something and be done.
Oh.
So some to cover.
it's just the thing is super critical. The amount of work is just so unreal. It's just stuff.
Yeah, no one told you to take the class.
It's just once a month. But it's annoying. So, no one told me to take it except I told me to take it because it's actually.
I'm enjoying biotransport a lot.
Are you really?
Yes. I have a good grade in my class. Like a really good grade. How?
Do I need to send them like each individual
Why?
certificate? Can I just send them the screenshot? US plus. With I have been.
I have such a like low. What?
Get your quick conversation. I don't know. I guess we'll see afterwards.
We started a new unit in reactors.
Gaetano.
She's green.
So
Okay, look at here.
She green partially.
First, we deal with $3,000 by itself.
Conversion.
Then those 4 cash flow. The 1250 uniform series minus this graded series 250, 500, 750. So plus 1250 given A to find P. 10% for interest period. Minus 250 given G to find P. 10, 4. How about those 2 terms? Standard uniform series. The present value, 1 interest period backward, minus A, given 10, 3. Not done yet. This present value, move that back to 0. Given f to find p, 10, 5, or 1 plus 0.1 minus 5. This is easy. The last one. You look at the greatest series, G, 2G, 3G, 4G. Pay attention to having no cash flow, interest period 0 and 1. Why do I mention this? You look at this one, G, 2G, 3G, but in doing interest cash flow calculation, if you want to have a G series, that will be back to interest period minus 1. That has no physical meaning. You cannot do it. So the proper way to do it is make this a uniform series of 50 plus a greater series 0, 50, 100, which is 50, 3 minus 1. Down here, you also should not be fooled by this A here. There's no A, an interest period 0. So, just stand alone. Just uniform series. How about here? 100, 0, 25, 50 equal 25, 3 minus 1. That is a gradient series. So, p equals 0. First, this term, 50, that is this uniform series. Given p, given a to find p, 10, 3. Plus 50, given g to find p, 10, 3. 100 is 50, 3 minus 1. That is this term. How about here? 100 given a to find p. 10, 0, 1, 2, 3. Minus 50 given g, not 50, 25, sorry, 25. 25. Given g to find p, 10, 3. No, not done yet. Both terms refer to a present value of interest period 4. You need to move that back to 0. Given f to find p, 10, 4, or 1 plus 0.1 minus 4. Lastly here, minus b minus given a to find p, 10, 2. This is b. see, oh, 5 minutes early. Let's look at back to this form. You'll be doing a lot of exercise using interest factor relating to uniform series, gradient series, geometric series, A, G, A1. Be sure to remember uniform series have no cash flow and time zero. Why is that? Because all the formula were developed with this standard form. Gradient series and no cash flow, time 0 and 1. Geometric series, no cash flow, time 0. Goes with JIT. Now, on Wednesday, ROR, rate of return. When you invest money into a project, say you have different interest period, 4, 5. You have different income, some expenses. So you have positive cash flow, negative cash flow. What do we mean by ROR? ROR. For your project, positive means revenue, negative means expense. If people tell you my rate of return is 20%, what does that mean? If you have a certain amount of money you put into the account, and I got 20%, you can generate those cash flow. If you deposit money $P now, for future year, 5 years, it can cover all the deal with income expenses. We're going to talk about how do you do economic analysis. The first thing you learn is rate of return. That is on Wednesday. Friday, we don't have class, okay? But you do have memo due. That's it.
Yeah, but
He mentioned something on Friday about if you want to reschedule and like redo the heat exam, you can, but it'll probably be after Thanksgiving.
okay,
I think is what he said. I'm not planning to retake it.
okay. Maybe I'll email them.
Yeah.
Should I retake it for Thursday?
I don't know if you can.
I should do.
Oh, do you want these?
Yes, please.
These AICHE modules.
Today's just the day you're gonna
I'm gonna go talk to
I think so.
Yeah,
Because
give me
they're
a
getting by like pretty fast, and I'm waiting for like Jack to come back to town to work with me.
He's out of town.
I think he's still out of town. He was out of town this month.
Every single time I send you notes, I save the files.
That shit. I didn't
So
know.
I have like so many.
What was it last time?
It's basically we're learning.
Online advertising
We're
special.
learning about more. How to
170 to $280 per day. Oh my!
so
You should do it.
it's cool.
That's a research, I think.
Yeah, That's what
When
she
does he
does.
come back to